Okay, so I just had this Nissan come into my shop for a no start, and didn't really have much to go off of, and I didn't really find a whole lot on YouTube about any theft issues with these things or videos of guys dealing with the theft problem. So once I figured it out, it was a theft problem, I decided to make a little video about it, throw it up on YouTube, and took a few screenshots or little videos, actually not screenshots, but videos with my lab scope hooked up so that you can kind of see, what you should be looking for if you're going to lab scope test this, which is really, in my opinion, the only way to do it and do it accurately, as far as seeing the what I would call communication between the NATS unit and the ECM. So had a P1610 and a 1612, both for immobilizer faults. And this is kind of the diagram that I pulled up. This works for all second gen Nissan Pathfinders. I would assume it would work for Xteras and stuff like that too. But check your data on that. Whatever program you're using, I use all data. If you got Mitchell, just kind of make sure it's the same system before you try to use this to troubleshoot. So real quick, with a test light, you would want to look here. You could, back probe or use your test light, get right in there. This is really easy to access. It's right next to the ignition, so you just got to pull the two little collars off. But if you check with a test light, you should have a good bright test light here, 12 volt at all times. When you turn the key on and you're back probing here, ignition on, of course, you should get your 12 volts. Both of those you can test with a test light. Same thing here. What I did is I actually used this as my power source and checked ground here, kind of verified both of them at the same time. This should be ground all the time, 12 volts all the time, and key on 12 volts. This wire, where is it at? Right here. Oh yeah, I went out to the side with that one. That's literally just a lamp control. It's the ground control for the security light. So if your security light's working, that's working. Anyway, the only way to, like I say, test this is you should get a pulse on this wire, which you'll see here in just a little bit. Back probing with your lab scope hooked up, you'll see two initial little pulses on the first video part of the video, which I would label the bad key cycle, and that one is, in my opinion, I couldn't find a lot of literature about it, but it's probably just the signal from the ECM kind of signaling the NATS unit that it's ready for the key code. And you see in the first part of the video it gets nothing. After I install the new mobilizer unit and program the keys to it, you'll see the key code kind of flash up on the lab scope. It's 500 millisecond time based, so it's real fast. Make sure you use a trigger or you might miss it. So just kind of keep watching, and you'll see the bad key cycle, what I saw as a bad key cycle, and then the good key cycle and the car starting. Okay, so one thing I forgot to mention before you see the next part of the video is here on the data line right there coming in, that will, when you're back probing it, key on or off, have 12 volts. So if you don't have 12 volts coming out here and you got 12 volts here and you got 12 volts here, this is definitely bad. Or I suppose this could be shorted to ground, so you'll want to check that, unplug it, use your own meter, and make sure you don't have continuity to ground, because you should not have continuity to ground on this wire with the key in the on position. So like I say, 12 volts is normal there. You cannot test that 12 volts with a test light. If you do, the test light will pull that circuit down to ground, and you will see 0 volts on this. So I suppose you could do it actually with a LED snap-on test light. That one wouldn't have enough resistance to pull the circuit down, or I'm sorry, would have too much resistance to pull the circuit down. So that would probably be fine. Voltmeter would be best. You also can't test this circuit with a voltmeter when you're looking for the signal wire, because it won't be fast enough to see the signal that you're going to see in just a second. Alright, after the new PATS keys have been installed, on the sickle wire. We still have, oh, there we go, still have 12 volts, but significantly more action. And it starts.